Seniors, if you're ready, community members, if you're ready, without further ado, we will get started.
Since as long as I've been around music, I've always wanted to make something in that realm that is truly my own. As my senior project, I decided to make this 8-course Renaissance lute.
For my project, I chose to make block prints of bees and bind the finished prints into books. My bee prints are my way of raising awareness about the declination of bees in a way that I can. Like the bee, we will survive together. We just need some help and some kindness.
For my senior project, I converted a van into a camper. I'm glad I stuck with it in the end and I had to adapt my timeline and what I was working on and my design and stuff, but I think it worked out good.
I decided that I wanted to start a program to feed underserved populations. And I also ended up getting a large donation of seeds. Food is such a basic right. It must be so hard for people who need supplies and food every day to ask for that.
When trying to decide what senior project to do, I soon settled on the idea that I would direct a production of Man of La Mancha. Throughout this entire process, I learned so many things. I learned how to work with a group, how to lead, how to orchestrate music, how naive I was to consider that doing a musical would be easy. But most of all, I learned that this is something that I can actually do. I can direct. And that if I just try hard enough, I can not only dream the impossible dream, but make it a reality.
For my senior project, I wrote a cookbook of all my favorite recipes that I collected from my friends and family and where I work. And it gave me a lot of confidence that I can do this and I can cook well. You just try and just keep going. And I made it so that I want anyone to be able to follow the instructions.
I plan to go into fashion design school. My goal is to help create a change within the fashion industry in a direction towards becoming more sustainable. I felt like I've learned a lot about myself, thinking about my childhood and growing up, and how I used to think fashion and clothing was just fun, and now kind of coming into my own and realizing what am I going to do for my future. Just having this appreciation of going through this process and learning, I hope that these skills that I have learned will help in my future.
For my senior project, I programmed a video game with the help of my friend Sam doing the artwork. I learned a lot of things from doing this project. First of all, I needed to be more organized with projects like this. The second thing, and the most significant thing I learned though, is that, and this applies to anything in life, that if you make a mistake, it's usually because of a reason. And if you're clever enough, you can usually find the reason why that's happened. And instead of sitting there in shock, go and actually deal with what is happening.
Hello, my name is Sam. My role was to come up with the ideas and illustrate them. Even when I didn't see my art as, so cool, or this wasn't my full potential, it was still in other people's eyes, like I said before, so great. And so I would take that and I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna keep on going.
For my senior project this year, I decided to create different herbal remedies, different medicines through making tinctures and herbal salves. And throughout this project, I have actually been foraging in the woods in Hudson. Although I'm not in the woods per se, and I live in more of an urban community, I have had a wonderful opportunity to kind of go into my backyard and figure out other ways to make this work. I have also been using an Instagram account that I have created called Urban Earth Witch to kind of document my process and also use that as a tool to make sure that this is an accessible thing that anybody can do.
And I'm gonna be saying a little bit about the global warming piece that I've been working on at home. As I got deeper into the senior year, the subject of climate change was always popping up, and that's what kind of pushed me towards painting a piece based off of that. So overall, the purpose of the painting is to show what cannot be seen, and hopefully to bring consciousness of the impact and result of our actions as human beings. I think it's up to us to rebuild what we lost.
For my senior project, I converted a cargo van into a camper van. I wanted to do this as my senior project because I really want to do a cross-country trip by myself. Hello and welcome to my senior project van.
For my senior project, I was originally going for a more abstract metalwork piece of art. As I talked to mentors, this kind of evolved more towards jewelry, and this is the final product in the DOP. I really thought about sort of what I had really learned from it. I learned so much about sort of reaching out to people and communicating and presenting the ideas.
Like this year, I said that I was only going to do mechanics, but since Corona, I haven't really been able to do that. I actually got into the business side of things and got to see how to communicate with other people, how to order parts. I also made further information about how I'm going to be a woman mechanic of color, which you definitely don't really see that much of, which actually got my name spread out a little bit, and how I was doing a senior project on it. And a lot of people actually helped me and let me come by their job to see if they can teach me how to do things as well.
For my project, I chose to tackle on the task of composition. I didn't want it just the computer playing, and I chose to animate the piece. I learned a lot to adapt to the situation, but I also learned that I can overcome these challenges and combine my passions for art and music to innovate in creative ways.
I wanted to do something that coordinated with where I was born. I was born in South America, a little country named Guyana. Not a lot of people know where it is. I was adopted when I was 2 years old, and my biological brother was also adopted with me. So for my project, I decided that I wanted to make Guyanese food. All in all, I just want to say this experience was absolutely incredible. And it just taught me to have like a bigger understanding and more sympathy for my mother and my sister, Diane, who cooks for us a lot. I wanted to learn more about my culture because it really means a lot to me that I know about where I came from and my ancestors and everybody before me.
Mrs. Mueller had been telling me about a sculpture she had made by request of a client in New Hampshire. And the original, being a little more than a foot tall, was requested by the client to be enlarged to a height of 4 feet tall and cast in metal. I'm at the point now where I have pretty much the entire thing tacked together. The next step will be to grind up all the seams and do finishing welds.
We are the co-founders of Euphemia, an upcycled linen clothing business.
Our business's goal is to empower women through clothes that are environmentally friendly and sustainable. What I enjoy the most is seeing the pieces on people. And
I organized a bit of a social distancing photo shoot. So we packaged up all of the garments and we sent them out to our friends, our family members, community members, and here are some pictures of them. A huge thank you to all of our models who inspired this work and made this project presentation possible.
Thank you so much for attending our senior project presentations. And for the very final time, I want to present to you the class of 2020.